Welcome to Car Scene Korea. I introduce newly released Genesis, Hyundai, and Kia cars. And the car I have behind me is, depending on where you are, 2021 or 2022 Hyundai Kona. But not just any other Kona, but Kona and Line. Out of all this gigantic parking lot, that Kona decided to pull over next to me. Unlike a regular model, Kona and Line has color matched the fender to the body, as we can see from the previous model right there. But this is the fully loaded model, so it has that LED light. Let me show you the rear of the car. So make a comparison of this and Line bumper, the tail light, the rear portion of the car versus the previous model right there. The exterior shape of this has not changed all that greatly if you compare that to the previous model, but the tail light, when the light is on, the shape itself has changed from this kind of a looking shape to that. And this car is fully equipped with HDA. On an entry-level SUV like Kona, that combiner type HUD, when it's pulled up, it has that kind of a reflective film on the other side from the exterior, so it reflects during the daytime quite a lot of a sunlight when you are looking at it from a certain angle. Most of the other exterior stuff, as well as the interior, it's commonly shared with a Kona Hybrid and other models for that matter. The drive terrain on this one is a four-wheel all-wheel drive model with 1.6 turbo engine that has the CVVD variable valve duration system that not only improved the MPG but also the performance. From Hanguk, 235, 45, 18 all around. And Kona and Line does not have a variable suspension or electronic suspension for that matter. Regardless of different drive modes you put in, you cannot change the stiffness of the suspension. It just stays the same. Just looking at the front radiator and the grille right here, it's cut open from here all the way up to there. Same case for up and bottom. So they have plenty of outlet for excessive air. That's been changed into LED from a xenon light bulb from the previous model. A little bit of a repeater right there too. Nice touch. And let's check out the interior real quick. But most of the interior is shared and almost is identical to that of Kona Hybrid. Check that out right here. But some of the differences is certainly this red accent that's right here, as well as the stitches that's been used on the seat. But this seat is not the first time we're seeing it. We've seen this on Elantra, N-Line, and so on. This portion of the N has a different fabric. I would like to say that this is more of a suede type of thing. I have the same thing on my Veloster NDCT, except that it has this red accent right here. One difference I have found is that for Kona Hybrid, there was actually a driver only button where you could obviously operate the driver's side of the vent only. That is missing on this Kona N-Line. For steering wheel, we have that N and also red stitches right there. And that's just about it when it comes to the interior. Krell sound system, heated seats, vented seats, different drive modes, steering wheel, auto stop on and off, parking alarm, and parking camera. And this being four-wheel all-wheel drive, you have the lock button for that. If you're curious more about the interior of the car, go check out Kona Hybrid. It's identical except for some of the finishes on the paddle shifters and that one missing button for the driver only. Sport, Smart, Eco, Normal. I bet most of you guys don't know about this, but go to setup. There is actually one hidden display that you cannot choose playing around with the drive modes on the seat. Go to vehicle, cluster, select theme right here, right? But disable this, then right here, there's classic A, B, C. That's what we saw with the Eco, Normal, and Sport. But there's Cube. And it's even on the fourth one, so you can't really see it unless you drag it down. There is this cube, and guess what it is? It's cubed. So that's what it looks like. One on the left is the speed and one on the right is the RPM. Hit the gas pedal just a little bit. Just like that. It's 10.4 kilometers per liter. As for the tilt, you have to press it until it tilts all the way and push it out in order to close. Press it just in the middle, then it will just stop by little. Let me show you the smart changing into sport. So just like that, it turns into red, and when I slow down again, it will go back to white or blue accordingly. See? So you don't have to change the drive modes every time around, like when you're merging into the freeway. You know, sometimes you need that power. It's much more easier, intuitive, and direct to make the necessary adjustments. Sometimes with the conventional ones like this, you have to tilt it up and down, left and right? But I like this for that matter. But one downside of with this is that since it's not horizontal, you can't have the aftermarket smartphone brackets or mounts. Dry 7-speed DCT feels quite alright. It's quite suiting with the engine and also the car overall. The thing about that wet 8-speed DCT that my Veloster N has, because of its nature, it's performance oriented, it's not all that smooth between shifts, especially in lower gears. With lower gear, you get more kicks and pulls from the transmission. You feel all that to yourself. But with the 7-speed, you know, it is somewhere between in the moderate, just a comfortable transmission, and also the performance transmission. So HUD combiner type. Just look at that, and the lid closes. How cool is that? And also the color changed into Eco, so now it's in Eco mode. One thing that comes in immediately handy is the auto hold. Obviously, a lot of cars nowadays has the feature, no surprise, but it helps. 네, 여보세요?
네, 안녕하십니까. 제네시스 현대 쇼룸입니다.
네.
예, 2시 예약 변동사항 없으신지 확인 전화드렸습니다.
아, 네, 맞춰서 가고 있습니다. There is really no stress as you driving around city roads. Like, you know, be it the speed bump and bumpy roads like the one that we are on right now, there is relatively low stress compared to that of a sedan. There is one firm rigid setting for the suspension there, so there is no comfort change depending on different drive modes. Alright, so that I believe would wrap up our POV video.